based video rather than meditation or anything like that. And if you want to get the full version, you're going to have to go to my Patreon page, which if you're watching it on Patreon, good job. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you're only going to get a little short version, I'm afraid. But this video is aimed at helping your sex life, which I think is something that a lot of us want, a lot of us would like to do. And there's been a lot of studies that have found that people who, especially women actually, who practice yoga report better sexual function and more enjoyment in the bedroom. And I think there's different reasons for that. There's quite a few things at play here. So one of them is that yoga really helps you kind of get in touch with your physical body, with your breath, how your body feels, how your breath feels. That can help heighten sensation during sex. If you're really in touch with your body and you really are able to focus in on how the body feels, it just helps heighten the sensation there. If you practice yoga on a regular basis, it can get rid of any built up stress that you might have as well, which could mean that you're just more able to enjoy sex. You're not stressed out. You're not your mind's not somewhere else worrying about things. You're just able to enjoy what you're doing in the bedroom, and it can increase your flexibility and increase your playfulness potentially. So it can help you explore some of those new positions that you've maybe wanted to try. The more flexible you are, the more positions you maybe have the ability to try. So it can keep things interesting and exciting for you and your partner. If you've always wanted to try a particular position and you're not flexible enough, do some yoga, and that'll get you there. And finally then, if you practice yoga regularly, you get stronger, your muscles get stronger, you maybe get more toned, or you maybe feel a bit leaner, and that can increase your body confidence as well, which is the main thing with sex. I personally find that the more confident I feel in myself, the better I am in the bedroom, the more able I am to just let go and enjoy things. But the more able I am to focus on how my body feels rather than how my body looks, just means that I enjoy sex more. I'm not sitting there worrying about whether I look fat in a particular position. I'm just focusing on how it feels, which is better for me and the person that I'm enjoying it with. So just to spice things up, to spice your sex life up, try these poses. It's not a full practice. We're going to go through the different poses. I'm going to explain why they help with sex and how to get in and out of them. So I'll talk through each pose and how it can help your sex life. When you're doing them, make sure you connect to the breath as well, and that'll just help you start to focus on the sensations of each pose as you focus on the pose, how it feels, and your breath in that pose. It'll just help you kind of get straight into it. And if you can, hold each pose for around about a minute. If you can. If you can't and you need to come out of it sooner, then do. But if you can hold it for around about a minute, it'll just help increase your flexibility and your focus and strengthen your body in those particular areas. I would recommend that you do these poses all the time. Don't just do them to improve your sex life. So don't feel that if you're single you can't do them. They're good anyway. They're good if you're practicing some solo activities as well. But they'll help open different parts of the body that will make your life more enjoyable anyway, in and out of the bedroom. So it's a good idea to just kind of focus on them anyway. So the first pose we're going to talk about is cat and counter cat, and I would start a lot of my practices and classes with this. It's just a nice gentle flow. It goes with your breath already. It just goes with the breath. It loosens your muscles of the spine. It helps the energy just flow better through your body. And this pose can activate the pelvic floor if you're female, which is helpful in achieving stronger orgasms. So we're going to talk through cat and counter cat now and how they work. So the first thing to do with the cat counter cat is to get into our table pose. And when you're in your table pose, what you want is for the knees to be roughly underneath the hips and the hands to be roughly underneath the shoulders. I like to sort of spread my fingers nice and wide just to get a nice base. If your hands are not directly underneath your shoulders and doing so is not comfortable for you, don't panic about it. And the same with the knees underneath the hips. It's a rough guide here. We don't want to go nuts at the thing. Like I'm not going to come after you with the protractor and go, you're not exact. It's just roughly. So you're roughly knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, your core's engaged, and you've got your neutral spine. So cat and counter cat follow the breath anyway. So as you breathe in, the tummy comes down, the shoulder blades come together, and the tailbone goes up towards the ceiling, and the head comes up. And as you breathe out, you're coming through the flat back. You're rounding up towards the ceiling, the head drops, the tailbone drops. And then as you breathe in, shoulder blades together, tailbone up, head up. Breathe out, rounding up. So the two moves follow your breath. So 60 seconds of that, depending on how fast you breathe. For me, I breathe quite slow. I take like quite slow deep breaths. So for me, 60 seconds of that would be something like a minute. It would be five kind of rounds. Cat and counter cat is one round, so one breath. If you want to even start with 5 breaths and then see if you feel you can keep going a little bit more, don't feel you have to stick with the whole minute if that's not comfortable for you. So that's the first one. This is our opener. So it engages your pelvic floor, gives you stronger orgasms. It can work for guys as well, but it's more so with women. And it gets your energy flowing, gets your spine nice and loose. Even if you want to do it before sex and show off your yoga moves, you can do that. Awesome. The last pose in our sex video is shoulder stand. It releases tension from the lower body. It sends the blood to the brain, and the brain is where we experience pleasure, really. You might think that you're experiencing pleasure in your in your breasts or in your legs or in your penis or whatever, but it's felt in the brain. Even though you do have those sensations there, they're being felt by the brain. So the blood flow going to the brain can just help with us. It just helps us experience pleasure. This also can relieve tension in the neck and the shoulders and that kind of area. So if you are someone who does carry a lot of tension in your neck and shoulders, and that tension or stress can prevent you just fully enjoying sex with your partner or with yourself, this is a good pose for you to do anyway. It's a good pose to do every day, just in general if you can, but if you can't, that's fine. Some people can't quite get shoulder stand, they're not quite there yet. You can just put cushions and stuff or a block or something under the hips and still get the same effect. In fact, I have a block over here, let me get it, and I will show you what I mean. For ladies, do not do shoulder stand when your period is here. It's not recommended, just with gravity. I'm sure you all can get what I mean there. So yeah, for ladies, don't do it whenever your period is here. For men, you can do it all month round. You lucky so-and-sos, it's absolutely fine. When you're up in shoulder stand, don't move your head. So if you're going to do this now and you haven't done it before, watch me do it and then rewind the video and do it with me, but please don't turn your head. It's similar to like a bridge or something like that. You can damage your neck if you turn your head. So for shoulder stand, some people can have their back lying on the mat and just lift the hips and start to come up, and even a half shoulder stand where you're just this kind of move before you want to start to walk up. Some people can't do that. Some people need to kind of rock into it. So if you're the sort of person who needs to rock into it, keep the hands steady or you'll be skittling all over the place, and just start to gently rock the spine and get a little bit towards the top of the spine.
each time, and then whoop, here we go. And then we're starting to get up into our shoulder stand. Whenever you're in shoulder stand, this is when you don't move your head, and you can come out of it nice and gently, or just roll down. So if your core isn't very strong and you're looking at me doing this and going, there's no way I can do that, do the rocking back and forward instead. If you can't get so you're fully upright in the shoulder stand, which is fine, you know, there's no problem with that. You can do like a kind of half shoulder stand where you're more this kind of shape. Start to walk the elbows together, the hands are supporting the lower back, and then slowly over time you can start to bring the legs up. You can walk the hands up the back. You know, you can come up in stages. You don't have to come up all in one go. There's no requirement to come up all in one go. I find shoulder stand can be tough for me to hold because I have a larger chest and it can feel a little bit like I'm suffocating. If you are equally blessed or more blessed and you feel like you can't hold it for very long, don't worry about it. That's totally fine. If you think, I'd like to try that, but I'm not sure that I have the confidence, or I'm not sure that I have the ability to do shoulder stand, you could put a block underneath, have the block supporting you. You can still, if I get my block ready, you can still lift the legs up, have the block support. So you're not up as much. You know, my butt's not as much off the floor, but I'm still getting that kind of inversion. You can do that. You can have pillows, you can have a pile of books. This block's not great for doing this because it's quite thin, which is why I was a bit wobbly. I would need a thicker block, but I didn't bring it. So you can have a thicker block, cushions, whatever, just to kind of have the hips up. So you're getting a little bit of an inversion, but you don't have to have that full hiccups now. You don't have to have that full inversion of the hips being as high. I think they've gone. So these are the different poses that would help your sex life if you did them all the time. But they're going to help your quality of life and your body anyway. They're going to help release, any kind of emotional energy if we're talking about the hips. They're going to keep us nice and stretched. They're going to strengthen the body. They're going to loosen the spine. They're going to get the energy flowing. If we're focusing on how our body feels in these poses and focus on the breath in these poses, then we're going to start to get more in tune with our body and have more focus and have more clarity anyway. So don't feel you can only do them if you're trying to improve your sex life. You can do them all the time. They're good to do all the time. Do them as much as you want. The more you do them, the more you'll feel comfortable in them. The more you'll think, yes, I can do that. I can hold it for longer. I feel comfortable. I know what I'm doing. So feel free to watch this video loads. Watch it as many times as you want. Get your partner involved. Do it together. It might be a nice thing to do together to start to build up that kind of closeness and connection, and have a laugh doing it as well. Yoga should be enjoyable and sex should be enjoyable, and if you can't enjoy yourself and have a bit of a laugh, then you're missing a trick, in my opinion anyway. So yeah, try these poses. Let me know how you, don't let me know how you get on in detail. I was going to say let me know how you get on. In not too much detail, let me know if you find them helpful. Or this could be a different channel if I'm not too careful. Let me know if they're helpful. Let me know if you like these kind of videos where it's using yoga to help another aspect of your life, and you want to see more videos like this, whether it's themed yoga for yoga for depression, or yoga for helping with, I'm a runner and I wanna do yoga to help my running, or I want to do yoga to help my sex drive, or I want to do yoga to help whatever it is, and I can do more themed videos. I do have some planned, but just if there's anything that you think, yeah, I'd love to see that, do. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful. So if you're watching on Patreon, you've just watched the full one, good job, congratulations. If you're watching on YouTube, unfortunately you only got a cut down version. If you want the full exclusive, full version that you can only get on Patreon, head over to my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Serenity Yoga Belfast, but I'll put the link down below. And I'll put all the links in the wee description of where you can see me, where you can find me, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. And I really look forward to hearing your comments and, you know, seeing if you've enjoyed this video or not. Thank you very much for tuning in. I do really appreciate that you guys keep tuning in and all that kind of stuff. I love it. So thank you very much. As always, namaste. Thank you so much, guys.